Audio Jungle.
Our first presenter is me, Muhammad Izzuddin bin Mansor. I will present about introduction. Next, Nur Elmilia binti Ahmad Tajuddin and Muhammad Ashraf bin Abdul Saleh will present about discussion. While Rais Nur Irfan bin Abdul Razak and Nur Hisham Arif bin Zainul will present about conclusion.
Every electrical engineer shall at all times so order his conduct as to uphold the dignity and reputation of his profession, and to safeguard the public interest in matters of safety and herein in others. Discuss your responsibilities and obligations in the event that, due to the substation building under charge, adjacent buildings have been damaged beyond repair.
Electrical engineering is a type of engineering profession that deal with the creation of better electronics. Since our society is heading towards an era of technology where all members of society will be affected, it is especially important for electrical engineers to follow a code of engineering ethics. For electrical engineers, an important set of guidelines is the Electrical Engineering Code of Ethics, published by IEEE, the major professional association for engineers working in the field of electrical, electronic, computer engineering, and communication. The code emphasizes above all else honesty and avoidance of endangerment to the public or the environment. Engineers should at all times recognize that their primary obligation is to protect the safety, health, property, and welfare of the public. If their professional judgment is overruled under circumstances where the safety, health, property, or welfare of the public are endangered, they shall notify their employer or client and such other authority as may be appropriate. This means that engineers should always be aware that their safety and the safety of those around them comes before anything, including any engineering project they take on, no matter how wonderful the end product might be. That being said, engineering standards change from one professional engineering society to the next because of the work of different type of engineers do. For example, the works that a civil engineer does not be different from the work that a biomedical engineer do. However, type of engineer you are, engineering ethics is important because if you do not follow it, you can be putting yours and someone else's life in danger.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Emilia binti Ahmad Tajuddin, and I would like to talk about our discussion. As an electrical engineer, your primary responsibility is to uphold the dignity and reputation of your profession and safeguard the public interest in matters of safety. In that event that due to the substation building under your charge, adjacent buildings have been damaged beyond repair, you have several responsibilities and obligations. As an electrical engineer, if you encounter an incident that involves any electrical equipment or installation, it is your responsibility to immediately report the incident to the appropriate authorities. The first step is to ensure that the immediate area is safe and secure, and that any injured individual receive medical attention. Once the area is secure, you should report the incident to the employer and the relevant regulatory authorities and any other parties who may be affected. Depending on the severity and nature of the incident, you may also need to contact emergency service such as the fire department or police. When reporting the incident, you should provide as much detail as possible, including the location of the incident, the cause of the incident, the extent of the damage or injuries, and any other relevant information. It is important to be accurate and truthful in your report and to avoid making any assumptions or speculations about the cause of the incident. In summary, the immediate reporting of any incident involving electrical equipment or installation is crucial for an electrical engineer. By reporting the incident promptly, you can help to ensure that the appropriate action is taken to prevent further damage or injury and safeguard the public interest. As an electrical engineer, it is your responsibility to assist in investigations if an incident occurs that involve any electrical equipment or installation under your supervision. The goal of an investigation is to determine the cause of the incident and identify any potential safety risks or area for improvement To assist in investigation, you may be required to provide detailed information about the electrical equipment or installation involved in the incident, including its design, installation, maintenance, and operation. You may also need to provide any documentation or records related to the equipment or installation. During the investigation, you should cooperate fully with the investigators and provide any assistance they require, such as access to the incident site or the equipment involved. It is important to be truthful and accurate in your statement and to avoid speculating or making assumptions about the cause of the incident. Once the investigation is complete, you should review the findings and take appropriate action to address any issues or recommendations identified. This may involve making changes to the design or operation of the equipment, implementing new safety measures, or providing additional training or resources for personnel involved in the maintenance or operation of the equipment. In summary, as an electrical engineer, you have a responsibility to assist in investigation of incidents involving electrical equipment or installation under your supervision. By cooperating fully with the investigators and taking appropriate action based on your findings, you can help to improve the safety and prevent future incidents from occurring. Next, as an electrical engineer, it is your responsibility to take all necessary steps to prevent future incidents from occurring with the electrical equipment or installation under your supervision. This includes identifying any potential risks or hazards and implementing appropriate measures to mitigate them. To prevent future incidents, you should conduct regular inspections and maintenance of the equipment or installation to ensure that it is in good working order and operating safely. You should also ensure that all personnel involved in the operation and maintenance of the equipment are properly trained and qualified to do so. If any issues or safety concerns are identified during inspection or maintenance, you should take immediate action to address them, including repairing or replacing faulty equipment, updating safety procedures, or providing additional training to personnel. In addition to regular inspection and maintenance, you should also stay up to date with the relevant safety regulation and standard, and ensure that the equipment or installation meets or exceeds this requirement. If any incident do occur, despite your best efforts to prevent them, you should conduct a thorough investigation to determine the cause and take appropriate action to prevent similar accidents from occurring in the future. In summary, preventing future incidents with electrical equipment or installation is a key of responsibility for electrical engineers. By conducting a regular inspection and maintenance, ensuring personnel are properly trained, staying up to date with safety regulation, and taking appropriate action to address any issues or concerns, you can help to ensure that the safety of all those who come into the contact with the equipment or installation. Thank you.
Okay, for the third one is compliance with regulation. As an engineer, it is the responsibility to ensure that all electrical issues are designed, install and operate in compliance with the regulation to minimize the risk of accident and damage to property. For example, a builder needs to have a standard practice to have a suitable contractors or risk insurance, a policy that covers the risks associated with the project, and this also tells us should the builder or engineer charge should cause damage to adjacent building while carrying out the work. Okay, for the next step is to mitigate the damage caused by the incident. This may include repairing damaged buildings or compensation the affected parties for the losses incurred. For example, mitigation measure the use of surge protection device to protect electrical equipment from lightning strike or a power surge. This is a common practice in electrical installation and can significantly reduce the damage caused by electrical transient. Okay, learning from incident. Improving the design and operation of electrical system, enhancing safety protocols, and conducting regular safety audits. The Board of Engineers Malaysia (BEM) Code of Ethics require the electrical engineer to uphold the dignity and reputation of their profession, exercise their professional skill and judgment to the best of their abilities, and act with the firmness and integrity. BEM case number 2017. The electrical engineer was found have violated the BEM Code of Ethics by failing to report a safety issue at the power substation that resulted in a fire and excessive damage to surrounding buildings. The engineer was held accountable for that action and required to take remedial measures to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. So that's all for me. Thank you so much.
The substation building, you are responsible for the adjacent building beyond repair, and the fact that you have a number of commitments all contribute to the conflict. Given the complexity of the situation, different laws, rules and code of ethics must be carefully considered. Next, electrical engineer personnel have a legal obligation to abide by OSHA safety regulation and ensure their work is completed safely. OSHA is a federal agency in the United States that set safety standard and regulation for the workplace. According to the BM Code of Ethics, which is also known as the Malaysian Board of Engineers Code of Ethics, registered engineers in Malaysia are required to prioritize public safety, health and welfare in all of their work. A legal document known as the REA or the Registered Electrical Engineers Act of 1969 lays out the qualification for people to practice as registered electrical engineer in the Philippines. The National Society of Professional Engineers (NSPE) strengthens the engineering profession by fostering engineering licensure and ethics.
Dispute between the parties should be settled in a way that puts safety first and abides by the law and ethical guidelines. Finding the source of the problem and making sure that all parties are aware of the circumstances are among the first steps in conflict resolution. Effective communication and collaboration, which are necessary for any problem solving, can help achieve this. The most important factors are clear and honest communication, respect for one another, and teamwork. Conflict can be dealt with proactively by developing a culture of cooperation and highlighting the shared objective of finding solution, making sure that all work is conducted in complying with safety standards is another important aspect of dispute resolution. The concerned parties are required to guarantee the safety of all electrical systems and installation. Making sure that everyone in the vicinity is safe is also a top priority. You must take the necessary steps to address any immediate safety concerns and guarantee public safety. In the engineering industry, clients frequently hire experts to perform projects according to their requirements. Electrical engineers must fulfill significant obligations in order to perform their job function. Electrical engineers must conduct themselves honorably while acting as a devoted trustee or agent for their employer or client. They must put health and safety first. They also offer services and make sincere, unbiased statements to the public. Electrical engineers are required to report the occurrence to their immediate supervisor as well as to other pertinent parties and to the appropriate regulatory organizations such as the REA and OSHA. It is your responsibility to notify the proper authorities right once if you come across an incident involving any equipment or electrical installation. In the event of an incident involving any machinery or electrical system under your control, engineers are required to support government inquiries and conduct a thorough examination into what caused damage to the neighboring structures. The design, construction, and use of the substation facility, as well as any possible maintenance and repair work, should all be thoroughly examined. The engineer must take remedial and preventive measures based on the finding of the inquiry to ensure that similar occurrences never happen again. This could entail altering the architecture of substation building, enhancing maintenance and repair processes, or adding more safety precautions. The engineer may be forced to propose solutions to the problem and may be accountable for compensating the affected parties for their losses if it is found that the damage was brought on by the substation building under their control. This could entail covering the cost of repairs or giving those who have experienced losses money in compensation. In the end, the engineer's responsibility is to act firmly and honorably towards everyone involved in this work and to uphold the greatest standard of professionalism and ethical behavior in all of an engineer's acts. Thanks for watching.